Very good morning. This presentation is brought to you by Resonate International with a mission to leverage knowledge worldwide. The topic being covered is the silent crisis, stunted growth in children, a global call to action. Ladies and gentlemen, the first 1,000 days of a child's life represent a critical window of opportunity. During this golden period, 80% of the brain's structure is formed and the architecture for cognitive, emotional and physical health is set. This critical period determines not only a child's lifelong potential but also the economic and social trajectory of nations. Yet, for millions of children worldwide, this critical period is marred by the devastating effects of stunted growth as a result of chronic malnutrition, inadequate healthcare, and poor sanitation. Stunted growth, a condition where children fail to reach their genetic height and cognitive potential, is not just a health concern. It is a profound developmental and societal emergency. Stunting is not just about height. It reflects underdevelopment in key organs, particularly the brain, leading to diminished learning capacity, reduced immunity and long-term susceptibility to chronic diseases, underscoring the irreversible nature of this crisis. It also leads to a higher likelihood of passing malnutrition to the next generation. Child mortality is closely tied to stunting. Malnutrition contributes to 45% of all deaths in children under 5, approximately 3.1 million annually. Those who survive often suffer from weakened immunity, making them more vulnerable to diseases like pneumonia. Alarmingly, research shows that stunted children are more likely to drop out of school, earn 20% less as adults, and perpetuate cycles of poverty. In nutshell, this critical phase of first 1,000 days is being tragically squandered for millions of children worldwide. Let us look at the underlying causes. First is maternal health and nutrition. Maternal malnutrition is a precursor to low birth weight, a significant risk factor for stunting. The Lancet reports that 20 million low birth weight infants are born annually, most in developing nations. Maternal anemia, affecting 37% of pregnant women globally, exacerbates these outcomes. Second is infant and young child feeding. Suboptimal feeding practices are widespread. Only 44% of infants are exclusively breastfed for the recommended 6 months, despite evidence showing this practice can prevent up to 823,000 child deaths annually. Third is poor sanitation and disease. Lack of access to clean water and sanitation affects 2.2 billion people, leading to recurrent infections like diarrhea, which impairs nutrient absorption. Studies show that children in areas with open defecation are 1.4 times more likely to be stunted. Fourth is systemic inequalities. Rural children are disproportionately affected, with stunting rates often 10 to 15% higher than their urban peers. Gender disparities also play a role, as cultural norms in some regions deprive girls of adequate nutrition and health care. Let us look at the scope of this crisis. Globally, approximately 148 million children under 5 are stunted, a tragic figure reflecting systemic failures. It is a crisis predominantly concentrated in low and middle income countries, where poverty, poor sanitation, and inadequate healthcare coverage. Sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia account for over 55% of stunted children. In India, for example, 35.5% of children under 5 are stunted, while in Nigeria the figure is 32%. In Ethiopia, 37% of children are stunted. In Pakistan, the figure is 40%. Countries like Yemen and Afghanistan face rates exceeding 45%, reflecting a crisis deeply entrenched in poverty and systemic inequalities. Despite decades of interventions, progress has been uneven. For instance, India launched its Integrated Child Development Services in 1975, yet the country still struggles with persistently high rates of malnutrition due to implementation gaps. There are success cases also. Peru's multi-sectoral approach reduced stunting from 28% to 13% in just 8 years by integrating nutrition programs, clean water initiatives, and maternal education. Vietnam has seen similar success through community-based nutrition interventions. Globally, stunting prevalence has declined from 39% in 1990 to 22% in 2023. While this is progress, the absolute number of affected children remain alarmingly high, driven by population growth in vulnerable regions. What are the historical efforts and mixed outcomes seen so far? Efforts to combat stunting date back to post-World War II food security programs and later global initiatives such as UNICEF's Scaling Up Nutrition (SUN) movement and WHO's comprehensive implementation plan on maternal, infant, and young child nutrition. While these programs have achieved localized successes, challenges remain. Inadequate funding, poor coordination, and political instability in high-burden regions have limited their impact. For example, despite significant financial pledges, many governments have fallen short of scaling up programs like community-based nutrition counseling and early childhood interventions. Let's look at the way forward, turning insights into action. To address stunting effectively, countries and international agencies must adopt a comprehensive, science-driven and actionable framework. First, targeted maternal and child nutrition. Ensure universal access to micronutrient supplements and fortified foods during pregnancy and early childhood. Expand initiatives like breastfeeding promotion, which can reduce stunting by up to 20%. Support innovative solutions such as biofortified crops like zinc-enriched wheat and vitamin A enhanced cassava. Second is strengthening healthcare systems. Establish universal prenatal and neonatal care programs, particularly in underserved, rural and conflict-prone areas. Second, train community health workers to monitor child growth and counsel families on nutrition. Deploy mobile health units to remote regions offering vaccinations, growth tracking and early intervention services. Third is enhancing water, sanitation and hygiene programs. Expand safe drinking water access through low-cost purification technologies. Increase sanitation infrastructure coverage with subsidies for vulnerable households. Integrate hygiene education into school curriculums and community campaigns. Fourth, integrating data-driven solutions. Develop real-time dashboards to track stunting rates and intervention outcomes by regions. Share best practices through regional knowledge exchanges and online repositories. Fifth, international cooperation and funding. Establish a global stunting fund pooling resources from donor countries, private foundations, and multilateral institutions. Enforce accountability mechanisms to ensure donor pledges translate into impactful programs. Comprehensive, country-specific strategies should be framed, supported by robust monitoring mechanisms and a dashboard to look at progress. Sixth, education and behavior change. Implement community-based education programs addressing misconceptions around nutrition and hygiene. Engage religious leaders if possible and cultural influencers to advocate for maternal and child health. Seventh, strengthening maternal health. Address maternal mortality by investing in safe childbirth practices, prenatal care and nutritional support. Link maternal health to stunting prevention, as maternal malnutrition is a key driver of low birth weight and subsequent stunting. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, overcoming child stunting is an imperative for humanity. Stunted growth is not merely a health statistic. It is a profound failure of humanity to nurture its youngest and most vulnerable. It is simply an injustice to the newborn with far-reaching consequences. Studies show that nations lose up to 10% of GDP annually due to stunting-related productivity losses. Yet, this issue remains under-prioritized in many national health policies. This crisis calls for bold leadership and unprecedented collaboration. By addressing stunting, the world can break cycles of poverty, boost economic development, and ensure children live to their fullest potential. Governments, civil society, and global institutions must move beyond rhetoric to deliver actionable solutions. This is not just a moral obligation that should uphold the dignity and potential of every child, but it is an investment also for the future of humanity. Economists estimate that ending malnutrition, the fundamental cause of stunting, could yield up to $16 in economic returns for every dollar invested. The time to act is now. Millions of futures hang in balance, and the cost of inaction is too high to bear for individuals, communities, and the world at large. Stunted growth, primarily caused by chronic malnutrition, is an enduring crisis that robs children of their potential, families of hope, and nations of future prosperity. But with collective will and targeted interventions, this silent crisis can be transformed into a triumph for humanity, ensuring every child, no matter where they are born, is given the chance to grow healthy, thrive, and contribute to a brighter world. Good luck, best wishes, and God bless.